Okay, so I had this video sent to me, and it says the San Antonio Spurs fooled everyone. I want to watch this.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, you know I absolutely love a really good headline, and this is a nice title. The San Antonio Spurs fooled everyone. What? Okay, we have to watch this and see what this is about. Okay, but it sounds like it's gonna be a little, at least a little bit of San Antonio Spurs praise, if you will. And you guys know I love me some Spurs praise because I think they deserve it. Okay, not my Cowboys though. My Dallas Cowboys suck. They suck so bad. I hate them so much. All right, so before we talk about it really quick, if you guys want to support the channel, get yourself the beautiful game shirt, man. Just look at it. Look, the beautiful game finals. Do you remember what happened? Remember what happened June 15, 2014? Anyway, I don't know. Dude, I advertise way too much on this channel. Look, if you guys want to support, please do. It means the world to me. I love you. All right, so let's go ahead and watch this. The San Antonio Spurs fooled everyone. I actually got this sent to me a few times. So I just said, what the heck? Let's see what it's about. You know what? I'm not going to look at the comments yet. Yes, not look at the comments. All right, let's go ahead and watch this. I sped through just a little bit, but I didn't really watch any of it. So let me change this. Okay, we're going to speed it up just a little bit. Let's go ahead and turn this off. All right, let's listen to what this man or lady or, you know, whoever has to say about it. Just go ahead and listen.
The San Antonio Spurs are one of the most fascinating teams in basketball right now.
I can barely hear that. I know you can't either.
They just made the playoffs 22 years in a row,
That's
and
better,
then, of course, lost in the play-in last season to snap that streak. Greg Popovich could retire as soon as next season. They went out there and they brought in Jeremy Sohan, Malachi Branham. This team has a lot of young talent.
God,
this is my first Spurs video ever, so if you feel as if I missed anything, feel free to voice it down below. And yes, I know I have Kawhi Leonard clips on the screen. I have 2 copyright strikes, one more, and I lose all of my channels, and I would be basically homeless at that point, so if I cannot afford to be using current Spurs clips because, yeah, the Dallas Cowboys give me a strike. I don't know the Spurs could, but regardless, the Spurs...
Dallas Cowboy gave him a strike. Is he a Cowboys fan? Also, what is he talking about? The Kawhi I don't know. I have no idea.
Have a young core that we need to talk about. This team doesn't really get a lot of love. I mean, of course, they play in the same state as the Mavericks and the Rockets, and both of those teams are more searched according to YouTube's algorithm than the Spurs. So here's why we need to talk about the Spurs. Because
well, true. I mean, yeah, Houston. I mean, I don't know. Would you guys say that? I don't know. Is Spurs one of those weird things where like the San Antonio Spurs are definitely kind of worldwide? Like you can go anywhere and there's some big Spurs fans. Just because of all the kind of foreign players that we have put on our team. I mean, there's a lot of Polish people that even came to this channel because of Jeremy Sohan. So, I mean, that happens all the time with us, but it's not like we're the only ones. Like, I mean, if you look over at Dallas Mavericks, they do it too. I don't know. I think in the United States, those two teams are more popular, but I'm making an assumption. I don't know this, but I'm going to make assumption that Spurs are more popular worldwide. Just let me know what you think about it. I don't know.
They traded DeJounte Murray, and to me, it made no sense. Last season, Murray went out there and put up just video game-like numbers.
Okay. He might have a good take here. He said at the time it made no sense. Obviously, he sounds like he's someone, you know, outside looking in, but hopefully he comes back with the right take.
Appeared in, what was it, 68 games for the Spurs, averaged 21, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. 34.8 minutes per game. He also led the league in steals.
By the way, can I say this? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to let it play. I promise. I'm going to let it play right after this. Let me just say this really quick. If you guys want a really good reference, because I say this all the time, and I used to get a lot of heat from it, but I guess since DeJounte Murray started acting up and like Spurs fans don't like him as much anymore, you know, people don't care if I say this, but I used to always say this. But go back, if you really want to see how DeJounte Murray isn't necessarily a star, or he wasn't really that, like the stats kind of hid a lot of things, go back and actually watch highlights, okay? Highlights are going to show every single good player, great play from the season, and you're going to see something, and it's a continuous theme with DeJounte Murray. Every single shot that he gets was off of a screen or a mismatch. Every single time. And that is not necessarily someone that's going to be able just to create their own shot at will, not somebody that's going to be able to be a star. It was almost like the screens were his crutch. And then you can go back and even watch, I don't know, someone as young as Josh Primo in some of his highlights, and you can see the difference there. Like, you can see it. He didn't necessarily use screens as a crutch. It was more so something that he could just utilize and exploit defenses with. That wasn't really the case with DeJounte Murray, and it kind of showed, especially in the playing game. But he was kind of sick, but you know what I mean. Well, a little hurt, whatnot, but yeah. Anyways.
It was so good that I figured the San Antonio Spurs, they just increased their rebuild basically in a single season. Normally, it takes these teams 3, 4, 5 years to figure this out. Hell, the Kings have been rebuilding for 10 plus years. But the San Antonio Spurs, they got something special in DeJounte Murray after losing DeRozan, after losing several other veterans. And then Murray goes out there, and in the second half of the season, averages 25 on 47% from the field, leading the Spurs to the play-in tournament. Of course, he was dealing with an illness that unfortunately would lead to the Spurs' demise. They would not make the playoffs. But going into the next season, this team is one piece away from being...
Fortunately, we didn't. You guys know I did not want him. I'm so glad. We wouldn't have Jeremy Sohan if we did, by the way.
A real threat.
And I mean literally.
To the Western Conference. I don't mean they're a championship contender, but I do feel as if the Spurs, like, let's say they got Zach LaVine, because it was clear that Murray was actively recruiting LaVine to the Spurs. Like, let's say Zach LaVine signed with the Spurs. Well, now you have a team that made the play-in that just got their closer, because why did the Spurs struggle in the second half? Why were they 7-8 in crunch time? Because they didn't have DeRozan anymore. So you bring in LaVine, you now have a scorer down the stretch. Let's add 7 more wins into the Spurs. Or not 7, sorry, I'm an idiot. Let's add in, maybe instead of going 7-8, maybe they go, what? 10-5? I don't know. So it goes to show that, yeah, this team, a couple more pieces, and they could truly be building something special.
Man, the people that thought this was just so wrong. I went against this like every single day, it seemed like. Every time I was live, it felt like I was fighting people on this. I did not think, even setting up a team and you get Ayton and LaVine with DeJounte Murray, I just thought that would be another eventual mediocre team, and it would take too long to even turn into something. It would have been ugly. It would have been ugly. People forget how hard it is to win a championship. The big three, they went through a lot of struggles throughout the day. So yeah.
But that isn't the case, because the Spurs did not make.
Also, I can barely hear him. He's not playing any music anyway. So yeah, QRs.
Big time moves after the draft. They did draft a couple of guys that I like, but they didn't go out there in free agency and really make an impact. So it goes to show that trading DeJounte Murray was simply because of a couple of things. Well, for one, he isn't a number 1 option on a championship team. So all his values at the highest. Murray could not have any more value right now. He's going to be getting a new contract in 2 years. Is DeJounte Murray worth a max contract? I guess he is, according to other players. And Jalen Brunson just got $104 million. So yeah, DeJounte Murray is worth that money, but not for the Spurs, because in 2 seasons, the Spurs will definitely not be a championship contender, which is why they're going to full on rebuild, which I absolutely love, because you've got the pieces to do it. You have the salary to do it. All you're missing is one thing. If this one thing can happen to the San Antonio Spurs in the upcoming season, they're going to be absolutely scary and a problem for decades to come. What's up, though, guys? Swag, you're back, and today we're talking about why the San Antonio Spurs brilliant plan this offseason.
Dude, I know my intros are bad, but he's done with half the videos. I mean, no offense to my guy, but man, we're halfway through. What the heck?
Has just been on full display. But before we do that, make sure you do 2 things. Drop a like on the video, get this out to more Spurs and NBA fans. Without your guys' support, this wouldn't be possible. I'm trying to chase my dreams out here, and just one simple like can make a huge difference. And also subscribe.
Trying to chase his dreams. I like that. Hold on.
I upload every single day, mostly football, but I do cover the NBA as well. And if this video gets a lot of positive feedback, I will certainly continue to make Spurs videos. I'm planning on moving to Texas probably maybe less than a year. So, hey, man, I'll come to a Spurs game. Maybe Selena Gomez will be there, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, guys, let's get into today's video. DeJounte Murray was so good last season that I did truly believe he sped up the San Antonio Spurs timeline. However, they traded him to the Atlanta Hawks for several first-round picks. And of course, I want to say they also got Danilo Gallinari and then waived him, bought him out. He went over to the Celtics. Murray's value was at an all-time high. He was playing extraordinarily well, but it was time for him to move on, because the Spurs just could not put the pieces around him to be a true contender. They definitely could have been a tough team to beat, but they couldn't have won a championship with DeJounte Murray as the number 1 option, even if they did get Zach LaVine, as I mentioned before. So they said, we'll take the picks.
True. Also, another thing, he might mention it, but at the end of this year, even if you wanted to extend him, he probably wouldn't have accepted it, because it would have been a very small increase, because it's like a percentage increase or something when you do an extension based on what you are already making. And the Spurs already had a great deal on him, so we wouldn't have been able to extend him anyway. And then you wait another year, and the longer you wait, the lower his value is going to be. So it's just not smart. And not to say, oh, he's going to diminish, playing-wise. No, he was still probably average the same amount. But the problem with that would be his contract. If his contract is shorter, you're going to lose. That's why the Spurs got pretty great things on from Kawhi, but if Kawhi had 2-3 more years on his contract, they would have got way more. You know what I mean?
Already have a ton of salary. Let's go out there and draft one of the 2 players. Yes, Victor Wembanyama or Scoot Henderson. Of course, the Spurs will be perfectly content with anyone in the top 5, maybe even the top 6. This is a very good draft that I'm high on.
That's Scoot right there.
But the top 2 specifically, we need to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about Victor because he gets enough hype as it is, and of course, every Spurs fan watching this, or at least 99% of them, would prefer Victor to Scoot, but not me. I do feel...
I know I don't talk about this a lot, because I actually do have people that ask me about this, like would I want Scoot or would I want Wembanyama. As it stands right now, at least this is my understanding, okay? I don't do videos on it yet because I still don't know. I need to just watch more film and everything. But as it stands right now, Scoot is a better player today. Like right now, he's a better player. But I think Wembanyama has the higher upside. if that makes any sense. So I'm cool with both ends of the argument. I personally would want Wembayama just because of the potential, but Scoot, as it stands right now, he is a better player than Wembayama.
Feel as if Scoot Henderson is built for the modern day NBA. I'm looking at guys like Luka Doncic, Trae Young, John Morant, and Donovan Mitchell. Scoot has that type of potential. He's currently 6'2". He might keep growing. I mean, the kid is 18 years old. He was born in 2004, which is just ridiculous.
He's only 6'2"?
But the reason why I like him so much is because he's very quick. He's a blur in transition. He has the first step in half court to blow by any single guy that's guarding him. He has a nasty hesitation, and he has a mid-range pull-up, which is his signature shot. He manages to stop and just rise with balance after full-speed dribbles. He's a threat to shoot over ball screens when the defender drops or goes under, which means that he's going to be in as many pick and rolls as any other guard, including Ja, Luka, Trae. Scoot Henderson is that dude, and if the Spurs can land him next season, this team is just going to be must-see TV. They're going to be potentially even, I'm not going to say dynasty, bro, because like Tim Duncan, Ginobili, and
Yeah, he's not go dynasty yet, but I do want a dynasty.
Parker, I mean, those Spurs teams, guys, just are so elite. They're not going to be on that level, but I do think that Sohan and Branham and Scoot, bro, and Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell and
Josh Primo.
They don't have Forbes anymore, but they went out there and who was their first round pick last season?
Did he say Josh Primo? He didn't say Josh Primo. Hold on.
He doesn't get talked about to the point where I don't even remember his name. He's in my notes, and I'm talking about Joshua Primo. See how underrated the Spurs are? I couldn't even remember who they drafted in the first round.
Facts.
Of course, this is a while away. It's just about a year away until we know the draft results, the lottery results. But it's clear, guys, that the Spurs are tanking next season. They're very young. They're going to be in the lottery. It's just going to come down to what pick do they land. And if they do land one of those top two picks, if they land the number one pick, this team is going to be extremely deadly, bro. I think they could make the playoffs just a year after they're able to land Victor or Scoot. That's how much talent they have. And of course, they have.
Whoa, we can make the playoffs after getting. Wait, is he saying the year? Is he saying the year we get them or the year after that? I don't know. I don't know what he means. I'll address both. Will the San Antonio Spurs make the playoffs after getting Wembayama or Scoot? Yes. I don't know. Maybe. I don't care about the playoffs, man. I really just want us to be a championship contender. I know that that's part of it. Maybe we can make like 8 seed, 7 seed the year after. I just hope it's enough. That's my main thing. Like it needs to be enough. We got plenty of picks like going forward that will be good. Like we get one really great one and we'll be good for years on end. But yeah, I don't know. It has to be it. You know what I mean? If we get that superstar, I think we're good. Yeah, we possibly could make the playoffs. I mean, we're just that well coached, especially if Pop's still here. We'll see.
All this cap, so they could go out there and say, yeah, we're going to go on a frenzy. We're really going to ramp this up. We have our franchise superstar. He's on a rookie deal. Let's go out there and try to win as much as we can. So
yeah, we got a lot of cap space.
And we don't know the situation with Popovich. I know that he could retire next season. He could not. So that's going to be the thing. I mean, if we have Scoot developing under Greg Popovich and these Spurs coaching staff, I mean, that is going to be absolutely scary. But outside of Scoot, I do want to talk about Jeremy Sohan. I don't know too much about him, but from what I read, people in the Spurs organization do view him as a cornerstone to the franchise. He is not ready to start right now. Keldon Johnson is currently the power forward. Remember, this guy's 6'5". He is undersized. He's more of a 3. He even has
I keep hearing this. Like, people keep saying Keldon's going to start at 4. I don't know if that's true. I honestly don't know. But, I mean, nor do I think it matters. I think as the season goes on, he'll probably move to 3. Honestly, another thing, too, Sohan is such a mature player on the court. Till I could very well see him starting not that long. Like, I know that Popovich gets this stigma of not starting players or, like, waiting to play player, which he does. But I don't feel like he waited that long for Josh Primo to get, like, a prominent role with the team. He definitely didn't do it with Devin Vassell, but sure enough, like, COVID happened. G League wasn't really going on at the time. But, shoot, he threw him in that starting lineup. So, I don't know. I don't think it'll take that long. Jeremy Sohan's too good of a player. And him being a lottery pick, he's kind of NBA ready in my opinion. So I think he'll be okay.
guard skills, bro.
Malachi Branham too. I think he'll get some minutes.
Is really good. He signed a 4-year, $80 million rookie scale contract. He's just 22 years old. So, yeah, this team, it definitely is heading in the right direction. But the reality is that they haven't improved much after the draft and throughout the offseason. So expect a bottom 3 finish in the West. Murray did all he could to get them to the play-in, and of course they had a chance at the playoffs, but there just really isn't enough win-now talent right now for them to do that. And they are going to be starting, it looks like, Trey Jones, Devin Vassell, Doug McDermott, Keldon Johnson, and Jakob Poeltl, which isn't as bad as you think. That's a team that can go out there and at least be somewhat competitive, but realistically speaking, it's not that great. Like, I actually do like...
They're just too young. That's all it is. It's not that the talent isn't there. They're just too young. NBA games are pretty hard. I know that, like, a lot of people say, it's so many games and... You know, it's not as competitive, but it's pretty hard to win an NBA game. You got to know how to finish, and unfortunately, we don't really have those type of players. But I think that there's going to be a few occasions where we see Josh Primo step up, and we're like, whoa, what the heck? And we're going to see Malachi Branham step up at certain times, too. Those two guys, they got dog in them.
Pirtle, dude. He can block shots. He's got some touch.
Keldon and Fasell too, but I'm just talking about the young guys.
I've never had anything against Pirtle. McDermott can shoot, of course, and at one point in time, dude, he had a lot of hype to him. Vassell's very good. Vassell alone could surprise a lot of people and win Spurs games, but there's just not enough on this team. So yeah, I don't really expect much out of the Spurs. They do have Josh Richardson, who I expect them to trade around the deadline because, let's be real, the Spurs will be selling when they can get any assets. Maybe they can go out there and get a.
I agree with him. I think Josh Richardson will be gone. I think I think the Spurs should try to move Doug McDermott as well. I've kind of changed my mind on the Jakob Poeltl thing. I think keeping him actually makes a lot of sense. Just for the development of the other guys, and Jakob seems to believe that he's not going anywhere. And usually the Spurs kind of communicate with their players when they're getting ready to trade them. So, but I think those two guys, yeah, I would definitely trade them.
Future protected pick or something for him, they'll definitely do that. So yeah, he's basically as good as gone. And as I mentioned, this is the first Spurs video that I've ever made, so if I did miss anything, feel free to let me know down below. It's definitely gonna help, especially if I do make another Spurs video. I can look at all the Spurs fans' comments and be like, oh, I missed this. Oh, they like this point. Let me touch upon this. So definitely do that.
Look, I'm gonna say this. I have a lot of respect for these people. Like, people that make their channels based on so many different teams, I have a ton of respect, okay? The only times in which I come in and I like get angry with takes is when they're just like not just ill-informed, because it's okay not to really understand certain things, because even me, I follow the Spurs. I do videos on the Spurs every day, and even I miss stuff, so I understand it. But I just hate when people come in with confident takes and so much conjecture and so much just so many opinions about the franchise, and they have no idea what they're talking about with all the confidence in the world. But I love that this guy basically went into this video, and by the end he was like, look, if I missed something, please let me know. I do the exact same thing. I love this. I love this so much. So this was a pretty good video. I'm not mad at it. But it seems that he's pretty high on what the San Antonio Spurs can be. He has a pretty good opinion on where we'll probably be next season. But man, the fact that he said he believes we'll be in the playoffs like right after getting Wembanyama or Scoot is insane. But it also shows how people believe in us. Let's see, the algorithm brought you a Spurs fan. I've seen this person before, by the way. Good take. There we go. I love putting that in there. Good take. All right, anyways, I'll get with you guys later, man. If you want to support the channel, please, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description, or $2 per month, be a patron and YouTube member, and we give out a shirt every month. So yeah, if you guys want to support, please go do that. Please go support your boy. Go support. Please, Clan the Merch Fan. Please go and do that. All right, I'll get with you guys later, man. Until next time, deuces.